With less than 2 weeks to go before the World Cup, the former president of FIFA, Sepp Blatter, has said it was a mistake to award the tournament to Qatar. Blatter said the tournament was too big and Qatar too small, and he added that he had voted for the United States. Qatar has been on the defensive over its treatment of migrant workers and its anti-LGBT laws in the run-up to the tournament. Today, a Qatar World Cup ambassador told a German media that homosexuality was, quote, damage in the mind. Well, for more, we're joined by broadcaster and sports journalist Jonny Gould from the podcast Jonny Gould's Jewish State. Great to see you, Jonny. It's just one PR disaster after another in the run-up to the tournament. What's behind Blatter's comments? Why did he feel the need to say that today?
Because he is a slippery snake, isn't he, old Sepp Blatter? Who knows how he voted? His fingerprints are all over this decision. And he's long retired, and he retires in some disgrace. And, of course, everything that he says is reported in the media. And, yeah, of course it was a mistake, and there were opportunities to overturn it. Indeed, if he'd said it more timely, then the World Cup would not be in Qatar. The whole point of the World Cup is that universal values are supposed to bring us all together. From my experience this week, Laura, when I declared on Talk TV that I was not going to go to the World Cup, I think I was one of the first and only reporters to do that. The amount of trolling I have received from Qataris, from Algerians and other Islamist supporters has been shocking. And it's as if hosting this World Cup is a sort of revenge act against Western countries. It is quite disgraceful.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear you've had a hard time, Jonny, but a lot of people have been decrying Qatar's anti-gay laws, and yet they're still going and they're taking Qatari money. I mean, you've got the England football team wearing little love hearts with rainbows on their shirts, as if that makes everything better. Do you see an element of hypocrisy here?
Entirely. I mean, you know, every man has his price. I'm lucky in the position that I don't have to go, in the sense that I have been to many World Cups and European Championships. Of course, I'd like to be there. But the position I take is a simple one. Apart from the migrant workers, which I cannot live by, I cannot go into a stadium where thousands of migrant workers have had either their passports taken off them or their lives, indeed. And it's reported that thousands have across all the Doha stadia. It's the fact that Qatar haven't signed the Abraham Accords, because they are sponsors of Hamas and allies of Iran. I cannot go and do my work as the host of Jonny Gould's Jewish State, in all honesty, and continue my work in support of Israel and the Jewish state. Can't do it.
Well, lots of Israelis are going, even though the two countries don't have diplomatic ties. What do you make of that?
Look, I'm not here to sort of preach to others. It's just my position. And if my position is replicated by other people who feel the same way, that's fine. A lot of my friends are going. And, you know, it's really up to them. I'm not preaching to Israelis, although, you know, as I say, have a think about legitimizing a country that supports terrorism against your country. Just have a think about it.
Well, what about those who say, you know, this is a bit of an East-West divide, you know, and Western countries have done things in the past and still do things that could be, you know, judged immoral. Do we have to, you know, make a case-by-case basis on in each country and which tournaments it's allowed to host?
There are human rights abuses in first world nations, and they are public. They are going on all around. You know, I live in a country where you might argue that there are human rights issues in Spain and other countries. But we also have elected governments whereby each citizen can make their protestation to their local government officer, to their MP, to their member of their Congress, to their councillor, because in theory we live in a democratic society, and that is not possible in Iran. That is not possible in Qatar, and that is where human rights differs between East and West quite fundamentally.
All right, Jonny Gould putting his money where his mouth is and staying away from the World Cup in Qatar. Thank you very much indeed, Jonny. Always a pleasure to talk to you.